Hello dear students, this is Indu Sharma, your science teacher. Okay, so we have started our chapter chemical changes, in which we have studied about physical changes, what happens in physical changes, physical properties changes, that is shape, size, color, texture or state of a substance. And about chemical changes, we have seen the burning of magnesium ribbon, and from that to next we are starting today activity 6.7. I already told you that this chapter is mainly based on the activities or the experiments. So in this experiment we are having dissolve about a teaspoon of copper sulphate. It's a chemical which is also known as blue vitriol or Neela thotha, its common name. So copper sulphate we have to take a teaspoonful in about half a cup of water in a glass tumbler or a beaker, right? We have to add copper sulphate in a half glass full of water in a beaker. Add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4 in this solution. कुछ few drops हमें ऐड करनी है सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड की H2SO4 की. You should get a blue colored solution. So what we'll get? A blue colored solution. As you can see on the left beaker, a blue colored solution will be obtained by adding copper sulphate or blue vitriol in the water. After that, okay, you should get a blue colored solution. Okay, fine. Now save a small sample of the solution in a test tube or a small glass bottle. इसमें से कुछ part we have to save in another beaker for later use. Drop a nail or a used shaving blade into the remaining solution. और next half में हमें क्या करना है? एक nail या एक used shaving blade we have to add in that solution, that copper sulphate solution. Wait for half an hour and observe the color of the solution. Compare it with the color of the sample solution saved separately. क्या करना है? Firstly, we have to take copper sulphate added into water, blue colored solution will be obtained, and we have to take two parts of this blue colored solution. In one part it will remain as it is, and on the second half part we'll add a nail or a used shaving blade, and after half an hour we will get some results which are quite different. As you can see in the second beaker, after adding the used shaving blade, the solution color becomes changed and it has become green in color. Why is that so? The color of the solution changes from blue to green is due to the formation of iron sulphate, a new substance, right? Now the brown deposit on the iron nail is copper, another new substance. So we can write the reaction as copper sulphate solution, which was blue in color, plus iron. That give rise to iron sulphate solution plus copper that occurs as a brown deposit. In this solution, in the right side solution, it was copper sulphate solution and the iron blade was there. So that copper sulphate solution reacted with the iron and it forms iron sulphate solution, which is green in color, and the brown deposition of the copper will be there on the upper surface of the blade. So this is what will be it? A chemical change or a physical change? Yes, obviously it's a chemical change. So next activity 6.8, take about a teaspoonful of vinegar, that is acetic acid, and its chemical formula is CH3COOH, in a test tube. Spoonful of vinegar लेना है आपको एक test tube में. Add a pinch of baking soda, that is sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3, to it. Simply we have to add vinegar to baking soda. You would hear a hissing sound and see the bubbles of gas coming out. What happens after the reaction? A hissing sound will be there. A hissing sound is just, you can compare it like a whistle of a pressure cooker, right? A hissing sound is there, and gas bubbles, see the bubbles of gas coming out, right? It is due to the reaction between these two chemicals, vinegar and baking soda. Now pass the gas through freshly prepared lime water. अब जो ये गैस रिलीज हुई है इसको we have to pass over the lime water. Now we have to see what happens to the lime water. Lime water के साथ क्या होगा? See, this is the setup. In the left side test tube there is vinegar and baking soda. Due to reaction of these there is a hissing sound as well as a gas will evolve, and if this gas is passed through the lime water, what will happen we'll see. So the reaction can be written in the form of carbon dioxide. जो carbon dioxide निकली through this pipe in the next test tube, this is carbon dioxide, and lime water is present here. Lime water is calcium hydroxide, that is CaOH whole twice. So carbon dioxide will react with this lime water and formation of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3 plus water will be there. So now you know what are the reactants and what are the products. The chemicals which are present on the left side of the this arrow are the reactants. Here carbon dioxide and lime water are the reactants. They will react together and they form the products, and the products are calcium carbonate and water. Okay. When carbon dioxide is passed through the lime water, जब carbon dioxide को हमने lime water के अंदर pass किया, calcium carbonate is formed. Very clear from the reaction also, which makes lime water milky. और इसने क्या किया, ये जो lime water था right hand side वाली test tube में इसको milky कर दिया, milk type. The turning of lime water into milky is a standard test for carbon dioxide. This is the main factor कि in higher classes also this is the fact that whenever you are going to test for carbon dioxide, very simple test is that pass it through the lime water will turn milky. This is a standard test for carbon dioxide. So always keep this test in your mind. You will use it in chapter 10 to show that air we breathe out is reaching carbon dioxide, और इसी टेस्ट को हम यूज करेंगे chapter 10 में, that is respiration, in which it will be shown that the air that we breathe out mainly consists of carbon dioxide. So now from activity 6.6 to 6.8 we have saw that in each change one or more new substance were formed. और chemical change में हमने यही main property पढ़ी थी कि जो reactants हैं they react at molecular level and a new substance is formed always. Now in activity 6.6 हमने क्या किया था, उसमें magnesium ribbon burning हुई थी जिससे कि ash produce हुई थी, और फिर हमने उस ash को test किया था for its basicity और acidity, right? Always keep the previous things in mind. The ash was the new substance formed when magnesium was burnt in air. Okay. And in activity 6.7, the reaction of copper sulphate with iron produced iron sulphate and copper that we have done abhi recently. So both of these are new substances. Copper was deposited on the shaving blade of iron. Okay. In activity 6.8, here the vinegar and baking soda together produced carbon dioxide which turns lime water milky. Can you name the new substance formed in this reaction? Okay, a change in which one or more new substance are formed are known as chemical change, and a chemical change is also called a chemical reaction, or a chemical change can be shown in the form of chemical reaction. And we know very well that in a chemical reaction or chemical equation there are reactants on the left side, products on the right side. Now chemical changes are very important in our lives. All the new substances are formed as a result of chemical changes. Okay, we know this thing very well कि physical change में no new substance is formed, only the physical properties changes, that is shape, size, color, state, right? And in the chemical changes new substances are formed and changes occurs at the molecular level. So for example, digestion of food in our body is a chemical change. Ripening of fruits, chemical change. Fermentation of grapes for the formation of wines is a chemical change, etc. happens due to series of chemical changes. A medicine is the end product of a chain of chemical reaction. एक medicine जब बनती है then it has to pass through a series of chemical changes और chemical reactions, तब finally एक medicine बन के ready होती है. Useful new materials such as plastics and detergents are produced by chemical reactions. Indeed, every new material is discovered by studying chemical changes. जो भी एक नया प्रोडक्ट बनता है that it has to pass through a series of various chemical changes, तब जाकर एक नया प्रोडक्ट प्रिपेयर होता है. We have seen that one or more new substances are produced in a chemical change. एक substance भी produce हो सकता है या फिर more than one also. In addition to new products, the following may accompany a chemical change. Whenever a chemical change takes place, एक product तो बनेगा ही बनेगा. Along with side by side, some other changes are also there, like heat, light, or any other radiations, maybe ultraviolet radiation for example, may be given off or absorbed. या तो इस तरह की heat, light या radiations absorb भी हो सकती हैं या फिर given off भी हो सकती है, evolve भी हो सकती है. साउंड में भी प्रोड्यूस, जैसा हमने अभी कहा था विनेगर, और जब हमने एसिटिक एसिड को ऐड किया था तो हिसिंग साउंड प्रोड्यूस हुई थी. अ चेंज इन द स्मेल मे टेक प्लेस और अ न्यू स्मेल मे बी गिवन ऑफ. स्मेल में चेंज हो सकता है या फिर एक नई स्मेल भी आ सकती है जब भी कोई केमिकल रिएक्शन इज देयर. अ कलर चेंज में टेक्स प्लेस. अ गैस में बी फॉर्म्ड. नाउ लेट्स लुक सम एग्जांपल्स. You saw the burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical change. Burning of coal, wood or leaves is also a chemical change. In fact, burning of any substance is a chemical change. Whenever there will be burning, it will be a chemical change. Burning is always accompanied by production of heat, and you have seen this thing very well कि जब भी burning होती है, ash produce होती है, heat produce होती है, and that is a kind of chemical change, right? Okay. Now, explosion of a firework is a chemical change. You know that such an explosion produces, जब भी कोई explosion होता है, production of heat, light, sound and unpleasant gases that pollute the atmosphere is there. That is why you are advised not to play with fireworks. तभी आपको advise किया जाता है fireworks या crackers के साथ ना करें play. When food gets spoiled, it produces a foul smell. जब food spoil हो जाता है तो बड़ी ही foul smell आती है उसके अंदर. You can't even bear it. Shall we call this change a chemical change? क्या ये chemical change है? You must have noticed that a slice of an apple acquires a brown color if it is not consumed immediately. आपने देखा होगा most of the time जब हम apple को अगर 5 minutes भी हो जाते हैं कट किए, then there is a brown layer that occurs over the upper surface of the apple. If you have not seen this change in color, cut a fresh slice. You can see this at your home also. Keep it away for some time. Repeat this activity with a slice. You can do this thing with a potato and brinjal also. They will also acquire a brownish layer over them after even 5 minutes. The change of color in these cases is due to the formation of a new substance, and that is what they react with air, and there is oxidation of that material, due to which the brownish layer will formed over these food materials. Are not these changes chemical changes? Obviously yes, these changes are chemical changes. In chapter 5, you neutralized an acid with a base. Is neutralization is a chemical change? Chapter number 5, acid, bases and salts में हमने पढ़ा था neutralization reaction in which acids were combining with the base to form salt and water. तो just tell me, is that a chemical change? Okay, so that's all for today. Read the chapter, clear your topic, and rest of the topic we will do in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.